Just keep on loading up, man. Just keep it coming. Keep it coming. Like those restaurants where you go in and they're like, "Do you want more meat?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure. Keep it coming until we tell you to stop." Auburn's defense just keeps on loading up on guys from the
it's where you
transfer
sit
portal.
down, you have the coin. It's like in those Brazilian steakhouses, you've got the coin, and you flip the coin over when you want them to quit bringing the meat.
Yeah.
Nobody's flipped the coin over when it comes to the transfer portal. It's still got green on that side, and Hugh Freeze isn't slowing down.
Yeah, it's a brand new Village Vice brought to you by mybookie.ag. Use promo code BARN. Barn. There you go. You'll get a 50% deposit bonus and a $10 casino chip at mybookie.ag. We talked about the defensive line additions earlier this week. I've not gotten your official thoughts, and I know you like him. The Maryland transfer linebacker, Caleb Wheatland, 6'1", 225, 230-ish, plenty of experience. I mean, boy, just what you want from a transfer linebacker with a lot of young talent already on the team.
Yeah, and we have to be so careful with how we talk about these additions, because you can be excited about the addition and talk about, how it's important and that it's important and why it's important. But people are still going to twist it and say, "Oh, so you think he's going to be a starter?" And it's like, no, like I don't think they've added a starter in the spring window. And I don't know if they've really added a guy who's in the top 3 of his respective position in this portal window. But one thing that has been incredible with this staff, I mean, we'll talk about it with their latest addition too, with the corner from Tulane, but it's just getting these guys who have played snaps in other places and started games to come be role players or depth pieces at Auburn, despite, not having a ton of on-field success over the last few years. Like, it's pretty incredible.
All right, but this time last year, so first of all, let me say I love our Villagers. I love Auburn fans. I love being a part of this fan base and this alumni group. Like, I love it, okay? I don't care. I don't care if people want to say negative things about a guy that Auburn brings in to a position where we've all said all year, you're probably going to need some linebacker additions. You probably need some veteran guys, some guys with experience. Did we talk last year about Dorian Maiusi being a starter, or did we talk about him being a role player?
I don't remember.
Okay, I don't either, which tells me right away that we didn't just assume he was going to be a starter coming in.
I think we assumed that Auburn would play a lot of 2 linebacker sets, which happened, that it would be Eugene Asante and Austin Keys, if I'm remembering correctly. And then Dorian Maiusi would be kind of the 3rd linebacker. And that did not happen.
Well, and at the very least, he was like an insurance policy if some of the young guys weren't the 3rd linebacker.
Yeah.
That's probably how we talked last year, if I had to guess. Well, all he did was go out and get 10 tackles against Alabama, 9 against Texas A&M, 10 against Kentucky, 8 against Missouri. He had 81 tackles, and I think that led the team. Did it not? I think he led the team in tackles a year ago. So maybe Caleb Wheatland is not.
Yes.
All right. So maybe he's a role player. Maybe he's leadership and depth and experience.
Yeah.
Or maybe he goes out and gets 75 tackles. Either way.
He's my favorite addition this spring window for sure.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think he's as good as Dorian Maiusi. I don't think. I hope I'm wrong. But and it's the same with Pleasant. We'll talk about him in a second. Like, it just makes the whole room better. And that's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you've had inconsistencies with recruiting at certain positions, or a bunch of guys leave that are in the same year. We kind of saw that in the cornerback room with T Love and JC Hart and Tyler Scott leaving. Linebacker, not so much. It's just you were so young, and so you needed some guys, and you lost a lot of older guys last year. I just think the context of like what he brings and what he offers, and just kind of, this bridge of, buying time until all these recruiting classes catch up. Like, I just think he's a really good ad. I think it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. I don't think there's a downside whatsoever. You've made your room better in some capacity. Yeah. It's not a stagnant room. It's an addition.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So and we can talk about that with Pleasant.
Yeah.
As well. The Tulane corner, Rayshawn Pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And like
6 feet, 180.
And I don't know like if it was just my overall energy that dissuaded people. But people talking like, just saying like how bad the takes are or whatever. I'm like, I said he's a role player. And people are like, you're coming in acting like it's like, oh, this guy's not that good. It's like, okay, well, like he's a role player. And like to act like he's awful is incorrect. Like that is wrong. But to say he doesn't make the corner room better is silly. Like that is silly.
Yeah.
And once again, a guy who was a starter at his previous stop scored 3 touchdowns as a corner last year. 2 is in the form of a picks, or 1 as a pick 6, 100-yard pick 6, and then 2 in the form of kickoff returns. Why wouldn't you want to add that at this point in the process?
Yeah. Well, and especially when your room took a hit over the last couple of weeks. You lost J.C. Hart. You lost Tyler Scott. You lose those depth pieces.
Sure.
You want to fill up that room.
Yeah, I mean, you want as many like, were you going to get to those guys in the pecking order? Like, probably not.
Right.
Like, were you going to get to your 6th or 7th corner consistently? Probably not. And I don't know where Rayshawn Pleasant lines up as far as the pecking order of corners.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Jay Crawford's going to play more. I think Kay and Lee's going to play more. I think Champ Anthony's going to play more, assuming he's fully recovered. I think Strader's going to play more.
Yeah.
And I think then you have the conversation of like, where does Pleasant stack up against the freshmen? Blake Woodby and Donovan Starr, who we've heard nothing but incredible things about and kind of got glimpses, throughout spring. So I don't know, like, okay, if he is your 5th corner, wow.
Then you've added
what a great spot to be in.
Yeah, you've added a 5th corner who had 27 solo tackles and an interception last year as a third line guy.
Yeah, a lot of people are running with the solo tackles, and like a lot of that has to do with him allowing the reception and then tackling him. But he didn't get beat deep a lot. Like he averaged, I think he gave up like 8-point-something yards per reception. So that tells me like he didn't really get beat deep. And so some of that might have been scheme, right? Tulane asking, just don't get beat deep, keep him in front of you, which is fine. I mean, he may have just been doing what was coached, but I mean, his numbers aren't great. But like when you look at some of his highlights, it's like this guy has like tools. This guy has traits. And so if he's the 4th or 5th guy in this defensive back room, it's like, I'll take the upside. Like 100%. 100% of the time, I don't fully get, from an Auburn perspective, it makes a ton of sense. Like, yeah, you want to come here? Great, sweet. We can offer you, playing in the SEC, whatever.
Yeah.
From his perspective, I'm a little surprised.
Okay.
But I love the aspect of, so he's got 2 years left of eligibility. So that puts him in the same class as like Kay and Lee, Champ Anthony, and Strader. And so there's no like, I think of those guys, Kay and Lee's the only one I could see leaving early after this year. Just a hunch, just a gut reaction. We'll see what Strader does. But there's no like pitch to him of wait for your time to play, because that's not coming. And also because like Jay Crawford's behind you, and we'll see who else trends up, whether it's Donovan Starr, Blake Woodby, or whoever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm a little surprised that this is like what he was looking for. And you and I have discussed this. Like, there's a million reasons why kids enter the transfer portal.
Yep.
Is him going to the SEC important? Did he want to play for Auburn? Does he want to play for this coaching staff? Like, or does he just want to compete? Which is the best answer for us, right? Like, we just want guys in there who are dogs that want to fight and aren't afraid of going up against, other talented athletes. So I don't, it's just kind of an interesting thing. I love it for Auburn. No question.
What do you think the NIL comparison is? And this is just pure speculation for a 3rd to 5th corner. Let's just say that he was sold on being a 3rd corner. You're not going to start, but you're in the rotation. Okay. 3rd to 5th corner at Auburn versus starting corner at Tulane.
I would guess it's more.
I would too.
I would guess.
So then
I don't think it's like tremendous, like life-changing more, but I do think it's, I would guess that it's more.
I would also think that all the other stuff surrounding the program, the nutritional support and the weight room and the everything else matters. And you're walking around campus as a football player at Auburn. versus in New Orleans at Tulane.
Yeah,
All that matters.
it does.
And you have a chance to compete.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right. We're going to switch from defense to offense. Does Auburn need another quarterback? Do they need a portal quarterback in this spring portal window?
Oh.
I say yes after Zach tells you how you could get the very same shirt he's wearing today. He looks so much more handsome than me today. He's in a rowback shirt, and he's going to tell you how to get it.
I don't know if I look more handsome than Brad Law. I don't know if that's possible, but Rowback gives me a fighting chance. You can head over to rowback.com, RHOBACK, rowback.com, and you can use promo code VICE20 to get 20% off your order. They've got collared shirts like this that is one of my favorite. I got two of them. Yeah. I love them both. They are my two favorite collared shirts in my closet. They also have the performance hoodies, the quarter zips. They've got it all with the, I think I could say millions. They probably have millions of different patterns and designs. I don't feel like that's misleading.
I can tell you this, that in men's polos, they have 223 different designs because I looked yesterday. And that's
just the polos.
That's just the polos. That's not the quarter zips or the vests or the, hoodies or anything.
Yeah, so go check out their expansive catalog. Rowback.com. Use promo code VICE20 for 20% off your order.
I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn adds another quarterback. Just because, and I know Hugh Freeze after A-Day said you kind of got to start to think about it the way you look at an NFL roster, and they're not always carrying four. And I don't know if we're quite ready to go into a fall with three quarterbacks. I'm not talking about a starter from a Power 5 school. I'm not talking about a guy that's expected to come in and compete for the starting job here or even the backup job here, but somebody else to fill out the room, to run through drills at practice. I think you might need another. Do you agree or disagree? Do you think we're ready to move full on into the NFL roster model?
I understand both arguments here. I get both arguments of, he talked about, are we ready to get to the NFL point of this? Yeah. We've just seen so much movement when it comes to quarterbacks. I mean, all players for sure, but I mean, especially the top quarterbacks. I mean, statistically, if you are a 5-star quarterback or a top 10 quarterback in a class, you are more likely to transfer than to stay at that school. Yeah. We're at that point. And we've seen it with Jackson Arnold already, right? I mean, you look at the NFL draft as we record this early Thursday afternoon, most of the quarterbacks that are going to get drafted over the next few days were transfers. A lot of the quarterbacks both quarterbacks that were in the national championship game, but most of the quarterbacks in the college football playoff, they're transfers. Yeah. So it's such a fluid position because you can only play one at a time. And so they want to get on the field and lead their teams. Does that mean you need 4 because you want to hedge your bets? Or if one of your guys leaves anyway, you're going to need to go out and get another guy anyway. So from a stabilization standpoint, I don't think you need to add another one. And I think with a walk like John Colvin, with what we saw from him on A-Day, I think he can do enough to run a scout team. I personally believe that. Yeah.
And if again, we're talking about we're not talking about how to beat Baylor in game 1. Because if you're down to your 4th quarterback at any point in the season, it's rough anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're on your 4th quarterback, you're behind the 8 ball for sure.
If you're on your 4th at a lot of positions, you're in a tough spot. So I don't know. I don't know who's out there. I don't know if they're talking to anybody or looking at anybody.
Well, and Freeze mentioned this post A-Day presser where it's kind of a tough pitch.
Yeah.
And the way he said it, where it was it almost to me inferred that the pitch is so tough that it's almost not worth it. That's kind of what I got out of him saying that. So
it's a totally different vibe than let me come sell you on being the backup quarterback.
No, you would be here. You are not the future
Nope.
of this program. You're not the now. What
So
are you like? What are you selling?
So what you're selling is, if I can give you the pitch, you got to first of all identify somebody that would just like to be at Auburn, just wants to play for Auburn and be a part. Like it means something to him to be on the Auburn football team. So that's gonna, that.
Well, I think they thought they had that.
Well, true.
Yeah,
true. Boy, and then after that, it's.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know
if you want to like pitch the GA thing and say like you could be a GA here when you're done. If you want to start being a coach, like you could pitch that, I guess. But so can everybody else.
Yeah,
so can everybody else.
It'd be like being the fourth quarterback at any of these other big schools. It's.
So I already hear the comments now. I already hear them.
Okay,
you know what they are?
What?
And I've seen these when I've asked the another question throughout the week as far as like who's been Hugh Freeze's biggest portal loss. And I'm getting a few Walker Whites as the answer.
Okay.
And my response to that is if Walker hadn't have left and he was here, he's still the fourth quarterback like he was a year ago. Right? I mean, he's behind Deuce. He's behind Ashton. He's behind Jackson.
I don't know if is he behind Ashton?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it was pretty definitive. You wasted no time on that whatsoever.
Wasted no time.
Yeah. Maybe.
If you ask me again, I might answer quicker if you want.
Where's Hank Brown in this pecking order if he stays?
Fourth.
Yeah. Okay.
Same with Holden.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all still fourth in the.
I mean, the upgrade that Auburn had is tremendous. Here, let's keep with the hot takes. TJ Finley would be fourth. I think Robbie Ashford would be the fourth quarterback in this room. And they started for Auburn.
Yeah. There are some Robbie Ashford and Ashton Daniels comparisons out there that you could maybe. Would he have an advantage because of the experience of a third year in the system at this point?
Maybe.
I don't know how much he would have played last year. How much does Robbie Ashford play last year if he's on the team?
I mean, he gets the nod instead of Hank, right?
Probably. Yeah. I think so. So I don't know if that's more or less. He played some at South Carolina because their guy was injured a little bit.
Norris. Yeah. And I think he had, I mean, it was kind of what we saw. Like, I think he had moments where it's like, oh, wow, maybe he's putting it together. And then, other moments where it's like, gosh, if he could just put it together, Yeah. So he transferred again. Do you know where he went?
No.
I don't either.
I can look it up, though. Everybody got Google, as Ronnie Brown once said.
Wake Forest.
Oh, he went to Wake. Okay.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Best of luck to Robbie.
Beautiful, beautiful area there in Winston-Salem.
Do you know who my favorite quarterback in Wake Forest history is?
No.
We've had to have done this before. Had to have done this before.
Why would I know? No. I can't name two guys that have played quarterback at
I'll give you another one. You'll never forget it. Carroll Blackerby, my grandfather, starting quarterback at Wake Forest. Yep.
We have never talked about that.
Yep.
Wow. How do you not have more Wake Forest stuff? How are you not a more outspoken Wake Forest fan?
I don't know.
So are they your second favorite team?
No.
No?
No.
Who's two on your list?
For football?
Yeah. We've never gone here before.
I don't know if I want to answer that.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Let me think of a non-SEC answer for that.
I used to love. Hey,
Oregon. I usually pull for. Oh no, Ohio State is my number 2 team. Ohio State.
That's family though. Yeah, that's more family stuff.
If I hadn't have married into an Ohio State family, it'd probably be Oregon.
Okay. All right.
I don't have a reason. I just feel like I watch all of their games. I don't know.
I liked Florida when Spurrier was there.
Okay.
I actually liked him. So
my second favorite SEC football team is Ole Miss because of Lane Kiffin.
Wow. Okay.
I went there.
You sure did.
Roast me.
That was brave of you right here at the. Hey, buddy, you got to hope that some people finished the conversation and checked out and didn't get to the end of the show because they're going to come for you.
Yeah.
They're loading up the cannons right now.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I mean, I was pretty outspoken that I wanted Lane Kiffin. Like, and I don't know
Sure.
if, like, I don't think it would have worked. Like, I think Hugh Freeze was the right decision in hindsight, but it'd be really like, I mean, some of the stuff he does, like, it's fun to talk about. So.
I've enjoyed watching some of the draft stuff with Jackson Dart,
Yeah,
and John Gruden, and them
Yeah,
talking
I've
about
seen that too.
how they're trying to trick people with plays. The one play where they send a guy off the field and make it look like he's being subbed out,
Yeah, I saw that.
and it's just a little different version of a trick play.
Yeah, I mean,
It's inventive. A lot of thought goes into it.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not use everything you possibly can to get guys open? So,
Sure.
Cool, great.
What
I think Auburn adds an edge rusher if they add anything else.
Okay. Yeah. So one more defensive line guy to rush the passer.
In a perfect world, they have 2 years left of eligibility, and they can also play strong side end. That's a lot to ask for, but that's an ideal world.
Sure. I could see that, or even another linebacker for more depth. Maybe a guy that's kind of a combo. He could play, outside linebacker, can rush
An
the
edge,
passer. Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. Is that guy in the portal? I don't know.
Good
I don't
question.
know. That's a
he's running
pretty
out
coveted situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we both listed pretty like wanted situations, so those guys are probably already well taken care of. But maybe not. Maybe they'll find some smaller school guy that could do that.
We'll see. We'll have it all covered for you. That's for sure. Whoever
That's right.
gets added.
That's right. I think that does it for today's show.
It does. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't yet, you'll get notified anytime a new show is released. And remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.